Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Jatatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakam Chashishyam Tam Todakam Vartikakara Manyan Asmat Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savila Samaha Graha Grasaika Karmane. I think verse 43 we finished. But here Vidyaranya Maharaj is indicating the Kutastha with the word Swayam. Swayam equals to Atma, Kutastha. And this Swayam, when it is used like he himself is going, I myself cannot do, you yourself are capable. There also we use the word self to indicate that which is independent of other things. You can yourself do means you don't need anybody else. I can myself understand means I don't need anything else. He himself is going means he alone by himself with nobody else. So the self is already eliminating anything else other than itself. And this Swayam and Atma are synonymous. Therefore, it need not be used in the same sentence. It doesn't add any value to it. That is also seen there. Prayogo na asti. Loke tayoho saha na loke tayoho saha prayogaha na asti. Ataha swatvam atmatvam cha anyavarakam. Anyavarakam, anyasya varakam. That removal of otherness. Anyasya varakam. Now, Purvapakshi does not leave it like that. This self is also used to inert things. Not only human like yourself, myself, herself or himself, but also for inert thing. So your idea of using Swayam to indicate the self is not acceptable when it comes to Jadavastu. So that is said in the next verse, 444. Gata Swayam na janati ityevam svatvam gadadishu acetaneshu drishtam chet drishyataam atmasatvatah. Gatam swayam na janati ityevam svatvam gatadishu acetaneshu drishtam chet drisyatam atmasatvatah. The Purvapakshi is saying, Gatam na janati swayam. The part does not know itself. Gatam swayam na janati. The part does not know itself. Iti evam jatadishu swatvam. Even in the jada, even in those inert things, the word self is used. If you are saying it refers to Kutastha Paramatma, then how is that used in Achetana Vastushu, in the inert objects? That is the question. The car itself went. Don't we say that? When the driver was not there, car itself went. That means what? Self is there in the car also. Then we'll say the stone itself is staying there. So stone itself is there. So then stone also it is self. So that is the question. So Swatvam is used in the form of self, and that is acceptable when it comes to Chetanatva, that which has Chetanatvam, like you, me, and other things. But what about things that are inert? Achetaneshu drishtam. Achetaneshu, in non-sentient, insentient, it is drishtam, chet. That's what you are saying, right? Drishyatam, may you see, atma satvatah. That means even in the inert things, Paramatma is. Matta parataram na anyat kinchitasti dhananjaya magi sarvamidam prodam. When he says sarvam, he never says only Chetanatva. Chetana, those who have life alone. Bhuteshu, na, he says. Sarveshu. क्या मतलब हुआ क्या? Self is present in all things. Because if you say other than that self, something else is there, where does it appear from? Where is the origin of that? So what is standpoint of Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta? There is nothing that is not present outside the self. Everything is from that presence only. So even in that inert thing, what you call it as inert thing, Sattvatah atmatam atmasatvatah drishyatam. Atmanah satvatah drishyatam. Of the presence of the self, the existence of the self, see. Otherwise, Bhagavan would not say, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am what? Taste in the water. The water kya hai? Chetana or achetana? Even that water is achetana from our standpoint, it is jadam. But even in that jada vargeshu api, achetaneshu api, atmatvam asti eva. Prabhasmi sasisuryayoho. I am the light in the sun and the moon. What is sun and the moon? reflecting media, it's only a matter. But even in that matter, that light is me. Means what? Bhagavan is Sarvavyapi. Vasudeva Sarvam iti Mahatma Sudurlabha. So here, even in that, Achetaneshu api Drishyatam, see it. Now you see, understand that. Then what is that which makes the difference between Chetana and Achetana? Even in a stone, even in a pot, if Atma is there, yes, in Satchit Ananda Rupa Atma, Sattvam Sarveshu Tishtam. Sattva aspect of it is there. Sat means existence. Gatamabi asti eva, patamabi asti eva, yata vriksham asti aham asmi tomasi. You are there, I am here, the tree is there. So too, gataha, pataha, everything is there. So easiness is continuing to be there in all. Kutra chetanatvam na drishyate. Where is that consciousness is not seen? Yatra sukshma shariram nasti. Where sukshma sharira is not there, the connecting link between body and the self, even in us. When the body is there, Shivam. Body is there without this expression of the Atman, Shavam. Ram Naam Satya hai. Even when you are carrying the body, Satya hai. Hey. So if in the case of a Chetana Vastu, even as the Paramatma present there, what is not seen there is an expression of Chit, which happens in as Chidabhasa, where there is Sukshma Sharir. So, Phat mein, Ghat mein, Sukshma Sharir nahi hai. Uska matlab ye nahi hai, Paramatma nahi hai. Where you are sitting on a chair, Paramatma there also. You are sitting on him. This is the declaration of great masters. They even inanimate things, they worship. Is it not? Everything is worthy of worship because Paramatma is there in everything. So if you go to a temple, you see a Paramatma in the form of God. Bhagavan is. उसमें क्या नहीं है वो that's why प्राण प्रतिष्ठाम करोति. प्राण का प्रतिष्ठान करता है. वट का उसका मतलब है सूक्ष्म शरीर का प्रतिष्ठान. So when Mahatmas come and do the prana pratishtha, what does it mean? They subtly invoke sukshma sharir there. Iska what is the reason why? Because then it becomes a breathing, and breathing means living entity. That is why you need to do Trikala Puja, food offering, dress, bath, everything. Because in subtle way that even the stone has life. And that is the reason why when in such kind of temples where the form of God is regularly worshipped without a break, it has a lot of power. And if you go to a temple which is never even nobody touches that, nobody does anything. Even Sukshma Sharir is there, but it is not maintained, then what happens? As much as we eat every day, right? We eat every day. And if you don't, then the Sukshma Sharir will quit from there. The body is just an abode. So even in that Achetana, Paramatma is there, and it is not that we'll experience the expression of that. उसमें सूक्ष्म शरीर नहीं है. As much as this physical body, once the सूक्ष्म शरीर leaves, it is as inert as stone, but doesn't mean it is absent of Paramatma. Paramatma is there in that also. So, चेतन अचेतनयोः भेदः परमात्मनि न अस्ति. As far as the Paramatma is concerned, there is nothing called Chetan or Achetan. Jada and Chetana, there is no difference at all. Jada Chetanayoho Veda Paramatmani Nasti. As far as the Lord is concerned, there is nothing called difference between Jada and Chetana, in which he is present in all of them. देखो वो अहल्या की those situation. What Gautama Rishi cursed is that your Sukshma Sharira, even though present, will not anymore express the Chit Bhava of the Paramatma. Chit and Ananda will not be expressed. Not that it is not, it will not be expressed until Bhagavan will come and touch it, you wake up. That's why Ahalya, like a stone. Even in our case, when we are sleeping, very deeply due to jet lag, let us say, or even anesthesia is given. So until the anesthesia the effect is over, we are jada only. Jada in the sense, there is a very minimal activity of the Sukshma Sharira, only in the form of maintaining the body. Breathing, circulation goes on. But when we come to have no more effect of the anesthesia, then Sukshma Sharira comes to wake up. Then we are normal. Similarly, Bhagavan touched the coma state of Ahalya. He woke her up. Then, yes, I'm back. Even those people who are cursed to be trees and plants. Think about Krishna was going to touch the Arjuna trees, right? And as soon as he went through them, woke up. They prostrate to the Lord. Oh, we were cursed by the Rishi. Now we are awake. So this is to be understood that way. The Paramatma is not absent. Only the Sukshma Sharira is absent. Therefore, there is an apparent non-expression of Chit and Anand. So, Gataha Swayam na janadi ityevam satvam gatadishu acetaneshu drishtam chet drishyatam atma sattvataha. Understand that the very substratum remains in that also. Then, who makes the difference between Chetana and Achetana? Chetana Chetana Vidam Kutastatma Krutanahi Kintu Buddhi Krita Bhasa Krite Vetyavagamyatam Chetana Chetana Vida Kutastatma Krita Nahi Kimtu Buddhi Krita Bhasa Krite Vetyavagamyatam. Chetana Achetana Vida. Vida difference Binnam ityartha. Kutastha, Chetana Achetanayoho Vedaha Vida Binnatvam Nahi Kutastha Atma Krita. Binna na Krita. The difference is not created. Binna when you say neuter, Binna when you say it's feminine. Binna na Krita. By whom? By Kutastha. Kutastha Paramatma na Binnatvam Karoti. Binna Karoti. Meaning, Atma is not creating the difference. Atman is saying, Samam Pashyan hi sarvatra samavastitam Ishwaram Vinashyatsu avinashyantam yap pashyan sarvashya. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshtu na priya. I'm same. What's your name, God? S-A-M-E. I am same. Sama is my name. I am same in all. So, kutastha na krita. Kutastatmana na krita. By that self, it is not differentiated. What? Chetana achetanayoho vida na krita. Then who? Into bad. Buddhi krita apasakrita eva. Buddhi krita abasakrita eva. Buddhi krita means it is created by the intellect and it is because of chidabhasa. Chitaha chitehe abhasaha chidabhasaha. The consciousness reflected in the buddhi, and the moment the reflection takes place, at that very moment the ahankar starts. The ahankar is nothing but chidabhasasya vyapakatvam. Buddhi, manaha, deha, indriyeshu, aham iti bhavaha eva ahankaraha tad chidabhasa krita eva. That is why chidabhasaha eva jivaha. Jivaha eva ahankaraha. Atra aham iti katyate. Here the word aham is used there. In this context, in this particular text, aham is not referring to self, aham refers to ahankar, that we have seen. Just like the silver is seen in the shell, or the snake is seen in the row, on the row. And that apparent appearance of the snake or the silver, in the same way, apparent appearance of aham in the kutastha. That chidabhasa krita eva vedaha. The difference is created only by the chidabhasa. That means the buddhi discriminates as this is jadam, this is chetana. How? Because its own presence it doesn't see in others. Meaning, what is the nature of sukshma sharira? The subtlemost is reflection. When it doesn't see such a reflection in a thing, then it is considering that is inert. Why? There is no chidabhasa there. There is no chetanatvam. There is no expression of chit. But it overlooks what? The presence of sat. Sat, that presence of existence. See, when you say sat, it includes chit and anand also. It is not three different things, but there is no expression of it. There is no avenue to express. Not it is absent. Satyahi chit, chityahi aham. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says satyeva chit. Because existence alone is, consciousness alone is ananda. But then the expression, the provision to express is not present. And therefore, one does not see. Buddhi wants to see, find it, but it is not there. It is not able to see it, comprehend it. Therefore, it concludes jadam. So, Kimtu buddhi krita apasa krita eva iti avagamyata. This you understand. So, as in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, Rahugrastya Divagarendra Sadrsho Maya Samachadana Sanmatra Karnopasam Haranato Yobo Sushupta Puman Pragaspapsamidi Prabodha Samaye Yapratyabhignayate Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye. He gives the example of Rahu Grasta Divakara Indu Sadrisho. Rahu and Ketu, they are given this Amrita, especially Ragu, who has been cut. So only head is there. Therefore, when it swallows the moon or the sun, and what happens, it cannot hold it for a while because the other side is open. It comes out. In the same way, like in eclipse is where the total the covering is not possible. It's only temporarily because other side is open, it will come out. Rahu grasta, like the consumption of or consuming of Divakara Indu, moon and the Divakara, sun and the moon. Sadrisho, equal to that. Maya samachadanat. Due to the achadanam of Maya, overpowering Tirobhuta Maya, because of that, Sat Matra, where Karana Upasamharataha, when all the senses are withdrawn in the state of sleep, Sanmatra Karanopasamharanato Yobhu Sushuptaha. One who becomes a sleeper, one who gets into the state of sleep, what is there? Sanmatra. Why? Karana Upasamharanataha. Because all the Karanas are Upasamharana. All the instruments of experiences like mind and the senses are Upasamharanataha, meaning at the time when it is all withdrawn, at that time what is there? Sat Matra. So Sat is there. How do you prove that? There is a big discussion on that point because he's refuting Buddhism there. So therefore he said, Yo Bhut Sushuptaha Puman, that person, Pragaswapsam iti. He comes to say, Aham, I slept. Aswapsam, Aham, Prag, before. Prabodha Samaye, when he wakes up, he makes that statement, I slept well. Iti yapratyabhignayate. One who recognizes that he slept well without any aid from outside. Means what? I was. Nobody says after the end of sleep, I was not. If you are not, how do you know that you slept? So Satmatra, that's subtle. In Satmatra means there is an element of Chit is there, but not as expressed in the waking or dream state. He recognizes his own state of being in the sleep. Nobody else need to say that you slept. So in this, what it accounts is that Sat and Chit and Ananda are present in the same place, but the state of sleep in which Sat alone is there and Chit is unexpressed form, because of which one is able to recognize that one has slept well. After waking up, one knows that. In the same way, in Jadavastu also Sanmatra, the Chit is not fully expressed there. It's a state of sleep for a long time until it is destroyed and becomes another being. So therefore, a human can also, out of his wickedness, can also become stone. Not only human beings or other living beings. Gurudev says stone life. Stone life means stone as life. A stone-like life, where one is incapable of no volition, no personal, awareness of existence. So here, buddhikrita abhasakrita eva iti avagamyata. It is only the intellect which is none other than the reflection of consciousness, which comes to have the discrimination of this is chetanam, it is jadam, ityadi. So, okay, now continuing on this point, the Supreme Spirit pervades the whole creation, both intimate and inanimate. The distinction rests on the susceptibility to present a reflection of the Supreme Spirit through the medium of the intellect. Objects having intellect in which the abhasa is found by intellect are called animate. Yata chetana apasaha kutaste pranti kalpitaha acetano gadadischa tata tatraiva kalpitaha yata chetana abhasaha kutaste pranti kalpitaha acetano gadadischa tata tatraiva kalpitaha kutaste atmani भ्रांति कल्पितः एव चेतनत्वं तथा आभासत्वं आभास reflection is abhasa makes one feel I am conscious. Buddhi alone acknowledges the consciousness, right? I am aware. कौन बोलता है? It is the intellect which has, because if the intellect, which includes the mind, let us say, when it is absent in the sleep or it is not functioning in the sleep, even though one is present, is it not that point of time one does not know one's own presence? Meaning what? That Chidabhasa is one which claims its consciousness. It claims it to itself. Sunlight, when it reflects on the water, rays of the sun touching the water, and the water starts to reflect that sunlight, the reflected sunlight is called buddhi. Reflected sunlight is called buddhi, not the sunlight. Reflected sunlight. So we must distinguish between chit and chidabhasa, or kutastha, which has the chit, and chidabhasa. The chidabhasa is the jiva, ahankari. So chidabhasa is a projection on kutastha. Just like the snake is a projection on the rope, just like the silver is a projection on the shell, similarly on the kutastha, chidabhasa is claiming its individuality, existence, though it is borrowed only. Kahan se borrow hua? Baro Krishnaya. कृष्ण से बारो किया है, इसलिए उसका borrowed from Krishna. In Kannada, baro means come. Baro Krishna means please come. Krishna, please come. Here, it's a borrowed existence. Now, Chidabhasa is like a snake. It's a projected reality. Therefore, kutaste bhranti kalpita. What chidabhasa, chetana abhasa, chetanasya abhasa, to be taken as one single one. Chetana is not chetanasya abhasasya, nahi. Chetana abhasa kalpita. Where kutaste yata. Yata, just as the reflected consciousness is a projection upon the pure consciousness. Tata eva, in the same way, kalpitaha, what? Achetanaha gatadischa kutaste kalpitaha. Even the pot, etc., are nothing but a projection on kutastha only. This is some kind of leap one has to move. Even this tumbler which you say as existing, it is a tumbler is a projection upon existence. Existence is continuously there. So every object, every inert object is also, as much as Chidabhasa is a projection on Kutastha, Achetana Vastu also is a projection on the Kutastha only. Maya creates the name and form. Isn't it? Everything that is created, from the space to the air to the fire to the water to this earth, tasmatva etasmat akashaha sambhutaha kritaha achadidaha maya. So inert objects, the matter is not an independent existence, nor it has a permanent existence, not even any reality to be associated with that. So anything that you say as objects of the world, material things, it is also nothing but projected on Paramatma. See, that is why we look in that Panchadashi, in the Dakshinamurti Stotram. Bijasyantarivanguro jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punaha maya kalpita desha kala karana vai chitra chitri kritam. See, when Sankhyan philosophy talks about upadana and nimitta karana as two things, material cause and efficient cause. Now, material cause cannot by itself create variety. A mud cannot create itself as a pot. For to make a pot, you need nimitta karana. Efficient cause is necessary. Therefore, Maya is the upadana karana, or pradhana is the upadana karana, and Ishvaraha or Purusha is nimitta karana, according to Sankhyan system. Whereas Vedanta says both upadanam cha nimittam cha Ishvaraha eva. Because Maya is taken up because you are seeing it different from Ishvara. Therefore, Maya is the Shakti of the Ishvara. It's not away from him. It cannot stay away from him. So both Chetanat, both the Nimitta Karan, Nimitta Upadarana Karanam, both of them are Ishvara. This is one standpoint. Now, only when you see the world, there is a Upadana Karana. When there is a world, only Upadana Karana. The world is proved as illusion. Then what is Upadana Karana there? And Upadana Karana is not there. There is no Nimitta Karana also. When there is no part, there is a question of creator of the part. So when it comes to Brahman, neither Upadana nor Nimitta is there. Then where is the world is? World is projected. On what? On Kutastha only. That is what he is saying here. Achetanaha gadadischa, even the so-called material things like pot, etc., tata tatra eva, kutaste eva kalpitaha. In that very Kutastha alone, it is projected on. Here, Kutastha is to be understood as Atma, none other than Brahman itself. Brahman itself is, there's reference here as Kutastha. So, Kutaste tatra eva kalpitaha. Tata eva Gata adi achetanaha. Here, Gata adi achetanaha, you can add body, indriyas, pranas, mana, indriyani, deha, vastu, in indriyartha. All of them are equally are achetana only. Only here, it has claims to be Chetana is only Buddhi. In this context, only that is the reflection of consciousness. And all other things are inert only. Deham pranabapindriyan apichalam buddhim cha shunyam vidu. Tribalanta jadopama stvahamiti pranta prashambadina. Maya shakti vilasa kalpidamaha vyamoha samharine. Asmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namayitam. Because see, Deham Atma iti kachchit vadati, Pranaha Indriyani Atma iti kachchit vadati, Manaha Pranaha iti kachchit vadati, Shunyam iti kachchit vadati, Chalam Buddhim iti kachchit vadati. Bhagavan Shankaracharya takes upon those who consider body as the self, the senses as the self, the prana as the self, buddhi as the self, fickleness of the buddhi, meaning this kshanikavad, and then shunyam atma iti. He picks up one by one. How do I only prove that each one of them are wrong? So, all things are projected on. For achetanaha gatadischa tatra eva kalpitaha. No illusion is possible without something real on which it rests. Silver, serpent, mirage water. Without the shell, rope, and sun rays, is there a possibility of seeing them? The substratum has to be there, and substratum has to be there only to give a illusory support. It's not real support, illusory, because the projection itself is illusion. In that way, kutaste kalpitaha katadihi. Now comes one more grammar point. That we'll see in the verse number 47. This is the doubt raised by Purvapakshi. Because there are two things which we saw in the case of a shell. Idanta and satyata. Existence and this. This is shell, which is seen by the person as this is silver, or this is rope, seen by the person as this is snake. In this, we saw Samanya Amsha is this and is, which does not get refuted whether one is seeing the actual shell or the silver. One is not having any doubt about this statement, this is, in both the rope as well as the snake, the continued. And Vishesha Amsa is the snakeness or the silverness. And what is called Baditam, what gets falsified upon realization is the silverness goes away or the snakeness goes away. And in our own experience here, swayatvam and idamtvam. This I am, or this, say, there is a word, there is a statement, I am Atma Brahma. It is one of the Mahavakyas. I am means this, Atma Brahma. So here also, idam swam, in this, also idam and swam are considered as the the one which are Samanya Amsha, and Aham is projected upon Atma. So Aham is the Vishesha Amsha, which is subject to falsification. Just like the silver, just like the snake, which is subject to falsification because they are Vishesha Amshaha, whereas the what calls Samanya Amsha, as in the case of this and is, so too here also idam and swam. And in that context, swam has been already explained. How the swam refers to the self. And even in the case of the inert objects, we have proved that the self is Paramatma only. Right? Paramatma only is referred as the self. Pot itself, stone itself, the self is there. Now, having thus clarified that Swam refers to the self, now Purva Pakshi says, what about Idam or Tat? These are all considered as pronouns. So they are also referring to self? That is a question. But here he is take up that. Tatte dante abhiswatvam ivatvam tatsatvam ivatvam ahamadishu sarvatra nugate tena tayorapyatmateti chet tatte dante bidasvatvam ivatvam ahamadishu sarvatra nugate tena tayorapyatmateti chet. When you used ta or tvam, satyatvam, satyatvam, meaning of the satya, of the nature of satya. Ghatatvam of the gata. Gatatvam of the gata, meaning partness of the part. Partness means what? The nature of the part. Partness. And sometimes it is used as ta. Satyata. Satyata means of the nature of satya. Satyata, ofness, meaning truthfulness. Therefore, here he is using the word tatta idanta of the word which it is pronounced tatta. Tatta means of that, and idamta of what is indicated as idam. Tatta idanta become, when it is dual, become tatte dante. Tatta idanta become dual number, becomes tatte idante, like a palam pale. Both are neuter. Palam pale palani. So that way, here idante. So sattate idante api also swatvam iva, like that swatva which you indicated as self, kutastha. Swatva indicates kutastha. You have explained this. Tvam aham adishu. Tvam aham adishu. It is used to indicate, like in the case of tattvamasi. There also the tat is used there. That you are. That word that is used there, is that indicating self? Tattvam adishu. Sarvatra anugate, it is used everywhere or it is seen everywhere. Tena tayoho api atmata iti chet. Even that word that are used as tat, idam, even in those is there their indication of the Atman. Is it so? So even though it's a grammar, let me quickly go through that, but it's a part of our study. So that, like the word self, the words this and that, idam is this, tat is that, can be applied to all persons, like I and you, like we are using it to indicate a person. It is therefore reasonable to conclude that the objects denoted by this and that are also Atman. Is it so? So in this is self and that is self, this and that no doubt refer to self, but in this is solidity, this is non-intelligence, they refer to the not self. In fact, there are terms of the wider denotations. So this is, as we saw, that word this or that by itself does not indicate Satya. They are not to be used in place of Swatvam. They are not to be used in place of self. They are only pronouns. So this is to be clarified here. The question is, doubt is therefore, Tat and Idam are also to be considered as, because why is he coming to that point is that then the exclusivity of Swatvam is gone. Swatvam is self. That exclusivity of the word Swatvam, which is used to indicate the self, which is, what did they said? Sarva Nivarakam, it is said. It is that which removes all other things. Himself, herself, itself, etc. So, in that case, the self is considered to be that which removes all other possibilities. In the same way, can I use the word Tat and Idam in the same way? See, when you say I am Atma Brahma, so I am is only a pronoun here. I am this Atma, self, is Brahman. Then if you say I am Atma, it is redundancy there. Earlier, what did you say? You cannot use two terms synonymously without a purpose, and that is not correct and it's not used. So when you say I am Atma Brahma, this I am, which is in place of Idam is indicating something external, I am indicating within. So this I am, does it mean self? Then it means what? This I am Atma, then you are repeating the same thing. So you wanted to catch there. So that is the reason why he is asking this question, does that mean self? So the answer to be that to be given here, next verse, 48. Te atmatve pyanugate tatte dante tatastayoho Atmatvam naiva sambhavyam samyaktvatir yata tata te atmatvebhyanugate tatte dante tatastayoho atmatvam naiva sambhavyam samyaktvatir yatha tata. So, I have written down some ideas in that. Let us say, Ramaha vanam gacchati. Rama is going to forest. Saha Lakshmanena saha gacchati. What does it mean? Rama goes to forest. Next statement is what? He goes with Lakshmana. Now, Rama is not mentioned in the second statement. What it is used? Saha. See, Saha is a pronoun. Saha taute. It's a pronoun. Saha taute. Tattetani. So that is neuter. When it comes to masculine, it becomes Saha te tau. So Saha te tau means what? Saha not necessarily means to, I mean, here the second statement, Saha, we know contextually it means Rama. But if you suddenly say Saha gacchati, kaha? Who? So when you make a statement number one, then the second statement when you make, that Saha refers to Rama. So the Saha word is used to indicate which is already mentioned. not independently. Independently, it means it does not indicate anybody. Sagachati. The next one question will be kaha. So saha is only indicating something already being used in the previous statement. Similarly, Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid. Sadeva Saumya Idamagre Asid. Sadeva, Supreme Reality alone was Agre Asid. It was before the creation. In that context only, Tattvamasi. So the Tat there is referring to Sat. Suddenly Tattvamasi means what? What that Tat means? That simple meaning of Tat is that. It by itself it has no meaning that is that you are. That who? What is that? So in the statement which you, if in the teaching, what is referring to that as that is Sat. That remote connection has to be there. Without that, the teaching is not correct. So what he's trying to say is, what you are referring to as Tat or Idam or Ayam by itself cannot refer to the self. Only by context. So, te atmatve api anugate tatte dante tatastayoho atmatvam naiva sambhavyam. Even though it goes along with Atman. So, I am Atma Brahma. Even though it is going along with Atman, te atmatve api anugate. Even though they go along with that Atman, tatte dante tatastayoho, these two, tataha, tayoho, those two, what? Tatte, tatta idanta. These two, atmatvam naiva sambhavi. It is not going to become Atma like Swatvam. Now, one more example he gives, when we use samyak, the word sam is used to indicate perfectness, goodness, auspiciousness. Is it not sam as a prefix we use it? Samyak, it means sampradaya, sampashyan kartumarhasi, samyak jnanam. So when you say sam, it is adjective. Adjective is used only in the context of something which is visheshana. Vishishta, visheshana, this must be understood. What is being indicated or being glorified, and that term that glorifies, term that qualified, qualifier and the quality. So, qualifier and then the qualifying. That one, Vishesha and Vishishta, that when you remember correctly, adjective is only in the context of exaggerating the quality of what is being referred there. In the same, therefore, he says samyaktvadehe yatha tata. It's only as the indicating the greatness of that particular point of reference. So here, this and that do not refer only to I and you and he as distinct entities, because this also is used. So when a person is closer, you say this tvam, or in anything that is a very close object become this, and anything remote is that. So I am is used, or idam brahma when is used, I am also is idam also. Eshaha is also used. Eshaha brahma. So or etat Brahma. Etat means closer, tat means farther. So a distinct entity, but also to Atman, which is the common element in them all. They are like correctness, incorrectness, or not synonymous with Atman, because they are of a wider denotation. They are not necessarily to be confined to Atman, because it can be referring to something which is not Atman also in context. This is the reason why we cannot take Tattva and Idanta as equal to that of Swatvam. So this is again correct only grammatically to be indicated there. Further continuing on that, we will see more in the next class. He will explain that as because the Purupakshi had asked this question, and to clarify that Swatvam is exclusive, it eliminates all other possibilities, but not the word Tat or Ayam or Idam, because they are more used as a pronoun and they do not exclude anything else, because it is used in various other contexts also. But Swattva is exclusively used to indicate the self, and it doesn't indicate anything else. It is indicating the existence of existence, which is whether it is inert object or an object, a thing which has life, Chetana. In Chetana and Jata, both of them, Swatvam is common. So that is what he grammatically proves. And then he will proceed on to further. We'll see that. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari